All right, so the first thing, and I don't want the teams anymore, or like who's on the team.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do the team name, less bias.
Okay.
Zero Cool. This is Come Get a Hug. And I'm gonna just list what I thought about this. So what I thought about this one is I like the intro. I like how this kind of starts as a lackadaisical song. It's kind of very relaxed. The beat is pretty relaxed. The tone of the MC. This is actually really different than their first two rounds.
Yeah.
Which I dug. The first verse went a little long for me. That just means that I probably would have, in the third stanza of the first verse, done something real different or a change up just to kind of spice it up a little bit. One of the things I think drove this, and this is a biggie, is that the beat isn't a good rap pace. In my mind, it's a little slow. Like, it can be done, but it's harder. You'd have to just chop fast and swag it out. And the beat's tone doesn't match for that. So I think it was a good choice to do this kind of singy, slower, lazier rap. But it was definitely probably a challenge for the MC on how to do it. So it's a swing. Basically, it's a big swing. And I think it works. Overall. So it's a pretty good song.
The multi sounded forced to me, like, and possibly because he had to like so swing, slow, or they had to swing the cadence. But and I would think like maybe auto-tune the singing in a bit, because it doesn't sound like there's any alteration to it. So I would see about like putting a little bit of auto-tune on that. And I would have liked to see more variation with the beat. It stays samey.
Yeah, it's very samey.
And I mean, we're gonna see later that people have gotten layers upon layers, whether it's the vocalist or producer, and I didn't hear that from this track.
Audience has this as a 7.12. I think it's a 6, maybe a 7 for me. I'm not too off the audience on this.
I'm not telling y'all what I voted. You're all shit.
You never do.
I never do.
That's not what you're about.
Never tells.
But yeah. So, an okay opener for the round. All right, YngSlvn.
I like the hook on this one. There's good build up to the hook, but like one thing that I'm noticing a lot with the rounds is that the intro for a lot of these are louder than the verse. Like a lot of times the vocalist just gets engulfed.
I agree. Yeah, the vocals through the whole track, in my opinion, seem a little bit thin and buried in the track. So they could have gotten louder and bigger. I think the chorus, they do the eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich, and that's sort of the hook. That's the whole of the hook. And I think what they should have done is actually buried that and then done another hook on top of it, either with singing or slow talking, slow rapping or something like that, and then used it almost like an instrument. I think that would have been the best choice for the hook there. I love the bass drive and the melody, but the actual drum beat left me wanting a little bit on this. I just don't, again, there's not a lot of change-ups in it. But like it's solid. It's like overall as a produced beat, but I liked the melodic portions a lot more than the percussive. And then like you said, better vocal production basically throughout. A little bit thicker, a little bit louder, go louder on those hooks. And then the second verse, I think, is a stronger verse than the first. That happens a lot. It happened for me. It happens for a lot of the teams. It's my note on a lot of things. And so maybe in a less competitive thing, write your whole song, finish your second verse once you're in kind of the groove of it, and then go back and rework your first.
Cool.
Okay, EXO plus Running Around You. What are your thoughts, Shubs?
So, the intro has some great build-up. The variation is pretty good in this. XOC clearly knows his way around multis, but I thought the cadence could use more in terms of variation. He needed to vary it up more. But what he did is solid.
So I think what the main thrust of the problem with this is the lack of variation on certain aspects. I think that XOC is good on this. This is my favorite track of theirs so far. I think the hats work really well with his voice. The swing works really well. On the bridge and into the chorus, I think this needs a really good arpeggio bit. This would have been a great place to put that arpeggio bit and have it be more complicated instrumentally, because there's no vocals, and then into the hook. I think the third verse is where you really begin to kind of get exhausted with the delivery, a little bit being the same.
Yeah.
And I think the last chorus needed more. You needed to take it up a notch. More vocal layers, more instrumentation, arpeggio, maybe some more hype. The robot hypes, the vocal production, the overall beat production are all strong in this, and I do like this song. But if it were a 2-verse song, or if they changed it up a little bit more in their delivery, I think I had a thing where I wanted this to just be a bit bigger of a hook, just generally.
Yep.
So, good effort. Audience has this at 7.5-ish? 7.5-ish?
Yep.
I am going to give it a 7.58. I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's a 7.
Okay. Frivolous Shara is just dope as fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? Do you have notes on this one?
Yeah, I do. So the flow is great. I really like the beat. It's a lot simpler in terms of construction than the rest. Than a lot of the what's it called? A lot of the intros that we've heard like throughout. But because Frivolous is like doing her thing like over it, it doesn't. There's no clashing. None of that shit. It's a solid track. There's one note I have though. The kick could be harder.
My overall notes on this one. I like this beat a lot, especially coming off the chorus into the second verse. The second verse in this one, the flow kind of breaks a little bit for me too much. I think I was hoping that there'd be at least like a 4-bar that was like real fast for the change up, and it wasn't in there. I don't think it was super necessary, but it would have been nice. I think the chorus in this is okay, but it doesn't really come together for me until the tail end, where they start adding like the digi hypes or the digi dubs, as I wrote. So I actually have a rearrangement that I wrote down for the choruses. I would have looked for taken the production from the second chorus, applied it to the first chorus, cut the talking sample and moved it to the outro, and then made the second chorus even bigger. I think that would have overall made the song more listenable as a package. But yeah, if you just sort of like upped the complexity of each chorus, basically moving. You're dancing to this.
Yep, I'm just doing a little.
Yeah, that last chorus. The last chorus really works. And
yeah.
So if you'd moved that to the second chorus, then gone even bigger on the third, and the first chorus would have been the second, I think overall this would have just been stronger. There we go.
Okay, so this is Whack Man-Made.
Yep, Whack Man-Made.
Now when I listened to this on my speakers in the office, the vocals seemed way too loud.
Yeah, they are.
And the background of the hook could have been turned down a little bit. I think there's some auto-tuning there. But I do appreciate the Triple H with the pedigree line. That was a nice one. But yeah, the vocals are too loud.
I agree with Shubs. The mix on the vocals were a bit off. I love the little singy stanza in the first verse, but I would have saved it for the last stanza of the first verse. I think the bridge combined with the chorus is a little long. I'm not 100% sure where I am in the song. until it comes back around again on listening to the bridge and the second, listening to the bridge and the chorus until the second chorus comes back around. So I think it blurs a little bit. I would have changed up the lyrics on the second bridge because I think it's fantastic, but I think it would have been more impressive if we changed up the lyrics. I love the lyrics on the hook, and I love the background singing crooning bits, and I like the outro, and this song is overall strong for me. Whack has a, what is this, a 6.5? 7.5?
7.5.
7.5?
Sure.
I think that's fair. I actually like this song enough. This is my first 8. So I'm going to give it an 8. Because I think it's pretty good. This is Thot Team Epic, Sarah Palin.
So the hook's catchy. Fuck Sarah Palin, by the way. But the cadence doesn't change a whole lot.
It doesn't change at all.
It doesn't change a lot.
Through the whole of the song, including the hook.
Yeah, and I know Hella can vary it up when she needs to, and I would have liked to see that here.
I like the delivery initially, but because it doesn't change up, I begin to recognize that it's a little like sing-songy, almost like children's book rhymey in it. I don't think I would have noticed that if they changed it up, especially because the hook has the exact same cadence. I love the scream outro. I would have liked on the chorus if they'd done like singing dubs in the background on the hook. This would be something like where YngSlvn would have done like that kind of like that higher pitch singing where he would have like descended on it. I can't do it, but YngSlvn's songs, if you listen to them, you'll identify kind of how he delivers sort of hype singing on some of his hip hop, and it really works. So I've got this written, and I'm gonna have to read it straight up. So what I would have done with this song is I would have cut each verse in half and forced different flow work on the back half of each. Chop the song into 4 sections for the MC and give them no more than half a verse of the same bar type in a row. Maybe start with the flow that you started with and then return to that flow for the chorus. That way you have this identifiable flow that you begin the song with for the verse, then it comes back in the chorus, and then you don't return to it in the second half of the first verse or at all in the second verse. And so it's this familiar repeat that really would have, I think, given the audience something to like bite into and expect. It would have been an awesome like surprise in the first time, because you would have been like, oh, I know the rhythm of this. You gave that to me already. And then they would have been prepared for it within one song listen in the next time the chorus came around. And then if you added the hypes, whether it's hypes or whether it's singing, it's just in my head I hear singing. I think that would have really stepped up the song. Mix-wise and production-wise, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, this is great. You did awesome.
Yeah, you did great on it. It's unexpected because it's not super melodic. It's a lot of blips and bloops instead of just doing like a super chiptunes like melody thing. And I think that goes tonally. So I don't think this song is like is in any way broken. It's just a little samey, and I think it needs to punch up the hooks a lot more. So this is the Extra Creds, Shubzilla and Artemis. I can tell that because they put their name in their title.
Branding. 10. Next.
I have notes for this.
10. Next. No, that's fine. You can.
I'm going to give it notes.
No, it's fine.
What did I write? Do you have notes now that you've had the song and it's finished and done? Because I know I always do after the song's done, where I kind of look back and I was like, oh, I like that, or I should have done this now.
10.
10.
Like this was a fun beat to work on, and this is in essence like mine and Arta's like, hey, look, we're working together intro track that we didn't get to have in round 1, so it was nice to be able to hop in on something. And also he kills beats. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it was me just being like, I need to write something brilliant or else Arta won't work with me anymore. But usual.
So on my earbuds and on the laptop.
Nick had a note for him, and I cannot remember what it is. Let me message him.
Yeah, on the earbuds and on the laptop, I felt like in the chorus mix with all the high noises, they got a little sharp, which also obfuscated from your voice a little bit, so it felt like your voice was underneath the sharper tones. it's just that high pitched like whistle flute thing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and everything. I think it gets out in the way a little bit. But that's then. I did mark, and we can talk about this on yours. Best ad-libs so far in the list of artists that I had heard at this point.
Ad-libs!
Talk about ad-libs, Shubs. What are ad-libs, Shubs?
They're like the little, like, random shit you say after a bar, or like within the bar, because sometimes it calls for that.
Were ad-libs somehow relevant to this round of VPC?
From what I understand, ad-libs... No, and I quote, fire ad-libs were asked
fire
for.
ad-libs. That I did not deliver fire ad-libs. I delivered ad-libs.
I delivered ad-libs too.
You delivered fire ad-libs.
Oh, thank you. Okay. That was like fire ad-lib. How do fire ad-libs happen, and how do I make fire ad-libs? You might ask. So I just say whatever the hell comes to mind at the end of the bar.
But
boom, that's it.
You've been doing it though. That's the thing. Number one, you create an end of the bar, which allows for the ad-lib to go in.
Yeah.
And number two, you've been doing it on lots of songs for almost as long as you've been rapping. And so
I was
you
trained.
practiced it.
I was trained on ad-libs.
You were trained on ad-libs.
Like immense training on ad-libs.
My only real note for this, other than the production note on the chorus, is that I know you are not a huge fan of the fast raps. I would have liked somewhere, probably in your second verse, for you to do some like what I call patterns, which is
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
where it's not that the whole 4-bar is just like lightning fast. It's that you just do those kind of Desh does it all over his track.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what
I've done it before. I just didn't do it this one. Yeah.
And so that's the only like rap note I had.
Okay.
Artist production is good. Okay, what are your thoughts?
Okay.
Oh well, first, Team Titans. This is press start.
Nightwing went in.
This is my favorite Nightwing song so far.
No, he hella went in. Like, I love the aggressiveness on that delivery, and what I appreciate is that the beat builds, but it doesn't clash with his vocals.
No, not once.
But that being said, I think the vocals could be turned up a bit more, especially with the hooks, because the hook is nice. It's a powerful hook.
Hook's real strong.
But I mean, it needs that little up.
So, my theory on this one is that I would have done something real specific on the production for the intro. Rather than just do the chorus, I think I would have just let the MC do like a slow kind of talk-in chorus. So it would have still been the chorus, but it would have been just like a low volume on the beat and just them kind of even voiced, delivering it kind of soft, and then getting into the verse. And then I think that would have added to the whole build that the song is. My other thoughts on this is that the first verse, there's a delivery change up and it's super clutch. Like, it's super good. The second verse needs a few more flow changes, but it's not bad. I think the first verse really opened it up, and then the second verse didn't quite match it. And then in the first verse, I would have you do like this little taste of like a continuous where you don't take a breath from bar 1 to bar 2, and then you pause after bar 2 and you go back to kind of a normal rapping cadence. I would have done that for 3 out of 4 bars on a stanza, and then kind of wrapped it up on the 4th bar. You give us a taste of something that would have been yet another kind of further trick, and you do it well, but giving it a bigger taste, a full stanza, I think would have done it. But yeah, definitely favorite track so far. Good chorus, good overall, good work. On this one, the audience has it at an 8 out of 10, and I think that's solid. It was definitely an 8 out of 10 for me. I really like it. All right, this is Team Kokoro, Rappin' Robots. What are your thoughts, Sean?
I am so worried that we're doing a chiptunes round and Robo-Rob has to produce for it.
Does he know how to do chiptunes?
I don't know.
I don't know if he knows about video games even.
I don't know. But that being said, That being said, the production is fabulous on this. None like Joshua does a great job in terms of not only varying his delivery and like his cadence, but when he chops, he's precise.
He's mechanical.
He's mechanical. He's sharp. And I do like that this is a lyrical video also. So good job. Good on y'all.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Good for you.
That takes work, and we appreciate it.
Good for you.
So I like all of this. What you said. The MC, none like Joshua, knocks it out. Rob, of course, produces a good track on this.
Yeah, like no one is worried on the chiptunes round that Rob wouldn't deliver. Nobody is worried. Nobody is worried.
This is the third track from them that I would love to hear live. This would be hype as hell, especially the way they did the chorus, the go-go, and everything. I want to jump up and down to it, right?
Yeah.
I only have 2 notes that are this right here is a gift. This second verse come in.
This is good.
It's such a present for the audience. The only 2 notes I had on this, and they are minor. You have a boom right there that I would have made even bigger than you made it. Full drop beat. Even possibly skip some more of the song, just simply to really explode it out. It's not necessary. It's just me loving dramatics. And then the second one is that I think the last chorus goes on 1 time too long. Just shorter, but you made it a 3-minute track. So, and that's how long the video is. So I don't know if that was just to fill it out. But I think it goes 1 too long. Live, it would be fine, that length. And it works for the track length. Yeah, that's my only notes. 9 out of 10. This is great. This is a great song.
Yep, good job.
Audience has it in the low 8s.
They're wrong.
They're wrong. It's very good. This is Spandex Moose, and the track name is Science. What are your thoughts on Spandex Moose?
So the delivery is energetic and fun, but there are times where the chords that are on this intro clash with the vocals.
I agree.
Like especially here on the hook. Yeah.
I agreed with that. I think the beat sounds fine on its own, and I think the rap sounds fine on its own. And I think they go together sometimes and not all the time.
Yeah. And when they don't go together, it's very clear that
it's very
it is
clear.
not.
I like this. On a beat like this and on a delivery like this, your punchlines and references need to be really good, and overall, I think they do a good job of that.
Yeah.
There's a couple misses, but I think overall, this is actually one of your stronger tracks. I like... so the closing with the science, is it needed to be as long? But then the spooky mosquito kind of talking closing, jokey part at the very end really works. So that's a hard thing to balance. And again, we're looking for 3-minute tracks. So it's one of those things where it's like, would you have done it if the track could have been 2 minutes and 40 seconds, right? And so I don't know if that was a choice to go that long. I actually really do like this beat a lot. And I think it's actually pretty mixed well as a team. So good work. I give this a 7 out of 10. Soundproof with the most on-the-nose title track, Robots.
If you don't know what the song is about, robots.
Starts with the word robots.
Yeah, so there's a kick in there that I think could be a lot more full and chunkier.
Yeah.
I think it could be louder too, but I mean, I'm very much into...
You're into the big kicks.
Yeah, I am. I do like the hook. I do. Like, I couldn't make a hook about the robots. Fair. I struggle with hooks also, so this is relatable content for me.
You and I are in deep disagreement.
That's fine. That's
how
fine.
Dare you?
Well, I dared.
How dare you?
I dared and I delivered.
I like a lot of this song. I like the beat. I love the verse work. Great references. Saved by the Bell into a Rocky IV reference, into an Ivan Drago reference. Yeah. Ooh, good references. Good quality, like, on the nose kind of nerdcore referencing, where it's like, I'm just gonna reference pop culture fun-wise.
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't think the arpeggio was integrated well enough, but for me, it's about the chorus. I get that you lampshaded it, acknowledging that the chorus that you were struggling with, but that doesn't mean that I liked the chorus, and it was a bit of a letdown for me, which is hard on a song because it means that I'm listening to the hook. I want that to be just like a top shelf part of the song, and it's not. It limits me from giving it an 8, 9, or 10. The audience has this at somewhere in the 6.5 neighborhood. I think it's a solid 7. I think with a good chorus, with a chorus I liked, I should say, it would be an 8. This is Songbotco, Get Up. Shubs, what were your thoughts on this?
I think the vocals could have been a little bit turned up.
Yep.
But the variation of delivery that Chris does is just...
Always.
I mean, it's dope. Here's a vocalist that can go into rap, into singing, and then back seamlessly. It's awesome. I do like how this is a quick change into like a very chill vibe, but he delivers it in such a way where the energy is still there and the strength behind like his vocals are present.
So I agree with that. The only things I really have to add is that it takes a little bit for the first verse and the drums to gel for me. But it gets there fairly quickly, and then it's there for the rest of the song. These drums would be hard to rap against because the hats
Absolutely.
Swing.
Yeah, they really
swing,
do.
and Chris manages to knock it out.
Yeah.
So Chris Sonko makes it happen. The chorus is great. The overall is a good. I think my big note for this one is on the hook. Maybe trim the hats out on the swing mostly, and just have the kick and the snare, or just stop swinging the hats so much on it. Just because I don't think Chris nails the singing as much as he does the verse work on the rhythm against the hats. But what might change the whole thing up is that I feel this song feels like it's 5 to 10% too fast for me, weirdly enough. Like, I'd be interested if you took the whole thing and dropped it down 5% BPM. And that might have to do with the chorus, but I think that might really work on a song. The digital singing is great. It's a great song. I love Songbotco. You know I love Songbotco. It's a 9 for me. That's no surprise. I'm nitpicking, but overall I think it's great.
Or some of B-type.
Some of B-type. Sometimes you just gotta spit.
So what I noticed off the bat was the beat here is so soft.
It is.
And there's a buzzing on the hook that detracts from the hook itself. So I think if that buzz either just went away entirely, or if it was turned down, we can really appreciate that hook more.
Yeah, the little bass riff is fine. It's leveled fine. But the rest, the drums are just quiet. Or just soft. They're not sharp. I didn't like this song. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like the tone on the rapper's voice. I don't like how the hook comes together. I don't like what it sounds like. I don't like the hook. I like the message of the song, but it's just not my favorite. I don't think it's mixed well. Because I don't like the chorus, I don't want to hear it again. It's not my favorite. It's not one where I can edit it and be like, oh, if you just did this or just did this. It needs a full remix, a full re-leveling of the beat, and the rapper needs to come at it with a different tone of voice for me to want to listen to it again. I'm sorry to be harsh, but it doesn't even feel like there's much mixing on the vocals. And it just feels unworked and unpolished in a way that just sort of stands out at this point in the VPC. Oh, I'm giving this a 4. All right, Sleeping Dragon. This is C'est La Vie. And I already spoiled it in the live stream part 1 earlier. This is a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10.
And here's an example of where the ad-libs don't need to be silly. Because I'm a fan of the silly ad-libs. But here, it adds to the song, and it still, like, creates, like, a serious vibe to it. There's a few Solid Snake references here and there, which I appreciate as somebody who doesn't play Metal Gear Solid at all.
Yeah.
But only knows, like, little bits of the references. But, you know, my sister, again, is at the pulpit. Sister Prowse is here to preach, and you'd better be listening. So, like...
My notes for this, and I've already directly messaged the MC, but I also got to come out on the producer on this, too. This is a great merger of MC and producer. Prowess is one of the best rappers.
Oh, yeah.
She is a phenom on the mic.
Do not sleep on her.
And her verse work, her delivery, her tone of voice, her cadence, everything is on point. Then she can sing and deliver you a perfect, like, late 90s, early aughts R&B hook. And then on top of all of that, she gives us 2 songs. This is 2 songs. It's 2 songs. And they're both great. But what the producer does in the first verse, like really working the production and the drums and where they're included and where they're not, to hold up, hug, support, and enhance the verse delivery so that any looseness comes across as a deliberate strength. It's so good. And then the second verse comes in, the second half of the song, it's another song, and I'd be mad about losing that R&B if this wasn't fire. I don't know how much more I can talk about this. It's a 10 out of 10. Anyone that voted this below a 10 out of 10, or below at like an 8, is just trash. There are 4 1 out of 10s on this, and those people are garbage. 4 1 out of 10s on this song.
What the fuck?
Hating.
Yeah, no, you don't give Sleeping Dragons a 1 out of 10. Like,
look at that. Look at how much you know that's bullshit. Not a 2, no 3s, no 4s, no 5s, no 6s, a few 7s, and then everything else is 8 and above for a damn reason. This is a good song.
Yeah, like, how dare you? How fucking dare you, is what I have to say. Fine shame. Fine shame.
All right, this is Sirtet backwards.
Okay.
I love the little wraparound they put on the video.
I do too. That's a lot of fun. Very on brand for Sirtet. Yeah, this is some nerdcore fucking shit right here. This is some motherfucking nerdcore.
Super straight nerdcore.
Yeah, this is nerdcore AF. Love the ad-libs. Again, with another track where the beat, I think, is just too loud in comparison to the vocals. But the beat is a really full beat. There's a lot of layers. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But we need the vocalist to be
a little bit more
out
front.
Yeah.
I love the theme. Just doing a song about Tetris is on brand, but I don't think the beat is... I think the beat's good, but I don't think it quite swings with the vocalist's tone perfectly. This is a real kind of like chatty kind of delivery, and I don't think it lays on it perfectly. It's still good. It's just I think this could have used some swinging hats. The big thing about this is that with there not being a chorus, there's not really a break from this kind of delivery, and I think a really like on point, like locked in measure, good BPM chorus would have enhanced this song a bit more, and brought it up for me. I love the song overall, but because there's no hook, and because it kind of lives in the same space delivery-wise, eventually I get to the point where I'm just like, okay, I'd like this to change a bit more vocally. Audience has this real high. Audience has this at an 8.2.
Yeah.
I have to give this a 7, only because of the things I mentioned. Okay. But it's a good song, bones-wise, so get a hook on it, and you're you'll turn this into an 8 or a 9.
Yep. Oh, damn. I mean, I meant to, like, Tetris New Release from Bethesda. I love that. And I'm so...
Tetris New Release from Bethesda
that was a delight. As a former Bethesda girl who, like...
They betrayed us all.
Yeah.
Can we talk about what Bethesda's Tetris would look like for, like, a little bit?
Oh, yeah, like, I mean, the tutorial would be great and phenomenal, right? First cutscene where it fades in and you're on, like, a wagon to get executed.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I was going to go the other side of Bethesda and be like, Tetris never changes. Tetris never changes.
And then 3 days later, they, like, release a DLC and some patch notes.
And it's patch notes.
That you'd have to pay for.
I like to think that in modern Bethesda's Tetris, they would open it up to the mod community so that you could get so what would happen is it would come out and it would be missing one of the Z-shaped Tetris pieces. It would be missing one of them. And then they'd open it up to the mod community would fix it, and then like a year later they'd have some paid DLC to fix it officially, and that would be what they would sell you.
Oh god.
Nonetheless, fucking Bethesda, new game from Bethesda, is just one of the best lines in the whole VPC. Okay. Saints of San Secuestro, is this nerdcore?
And I'll answer this. God damn it, this is nerdcore.
It's nerdcore.
God damn it, it's a fucking paradigm. There are times where, like, some of the cadence and the delivery falls off beat. I do like the beat, though. It's another one where it's like a fully realized beat.
Yeah, the beat and the opening verse on this really come in right. It gets you excited to listen to the song. The flow works on it. I agree with you. The delivery does fall off as the song goes. Mm-hmm. But I think overall, the beat is... And this, like, break bridge is great. I think the chorus is good on its own. But I don't think this style of melody goes on this beat. And I think that's the problem I have with the chorus.
Okay.
I see what you're doing in the chorus, and I like its delivery, and I like the beat, but I don't think they go together, and it's a real clash. To be clear, I hate the theme of this song, because I hate the question, is this nerdcore? Unless it's being used facetiously on things that are definitely not nerdcore. And I hate the end of this. I'm done. We're done with MC Chris. You can use him in lines, but, like, he doesn't need to be the focus of any portion of the song. So stop it. Stop it. The production on this is fine, but... And I actually even like the melody of the delivery, but please change the lyrics. Sailor Doom Parasite. Shubs, thoughts, feelings?
Cadence is great. The energy is high. I mean, with Sailor Doom, I mean, that's something that you're going to expect at this point with that. Like, it's going to be an amped up track, very high energy. There's sometimes where, like, elements of the instrumentation clashes with Twill's vocals. And I put here specifically the latter part of the first, that should be verse. She does chop a bit, I think, like, later on in the track, and there's sometimes where it gets a little sloppy, but I think with practice, like, the more time she does it, and, like, if this were being performed live, I wouldn't have any doubt in my mind that, like, it would become, like, precise and accurate. Also, the hook should be louder on this.
The hook should be louder. I talk about thickening up the vocals on the hook. The way I would fix this very lazily is I would have taken, because it's like a little bit of singing and then a harmony, and a little bit of singing and a harmony to close each line.
Yeah.
And I would have done the harmony in the first part, and then done another harmony in the second part.
Right.
So, like, basically had 2 vocals then 3. That's the lazy way to do it. I'm sure there are production tips on how to make a real full sounding solo singing voice. I don't know them. I like a lot of the delivery on this. You get a little Nicki Minaj on a couple lines in the second verse, which is not my personal taste. But I like that it gets manic and it gets kind of crazy. Of course, like last round, anytime you decide to scream, I love it. I like the hook though, melody-wise, and I like the song overall. I think this is a really strong track overall. But at this point, it's like, well, what the hell else do I expect from Sailor Do, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, between the two, they're both accomplished at how to make very listenable songs.
Yeah.
So, no surprise. Yeah, this, where it speeds up. I really like this choice.
I do.
I agree with you. It gets a little sloppy, but, you know, it's a VPC, right?
Yeah.
It's not on an album yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, polish it up, put it on an EP. Or an LP. Do it live.
Or an MP, military police.
Sure.
A military police album.
Oh, no.
That's all military beats, but then police singing.
No, gross.
I would give this, I'd give this a solid 8. I could see giving it a 9 too, but definitely an 8. This is Rockrow, and the track name is the Rockrow Adventure, which is a great track name. Shubs.
Alright, so I like the flow that the vocalist is giving here, but I think the cadence could vary up a little bit, and I would have liked to hear more layers on the drums.
I agree. I think what works for this is the patter cadence. The first verse, I think, is real strong on this one. I think the second verse kind of eventually gets a little rough. It's almost like you wrote the things and you just wanted to rap what you wrote, and you didn't edit it enough for what was the beat, what was happening in the beat. The chorus is great. I really like how this comes in because it's almost like a mystery at how the beat's gonna come together, which is super dope. Because it doesn't feel like disjointed. It feels like it's slowly like phasing into proper existence. You use the word apocalypse over and over again because you're referencing a specific comic and a specific arc. I don't like it when a proper noun is used repeatedly. I think the chorus could have been improved if you trimmed some of the lyrics out and just let the mid-note kind of ride, like when you say bugging me, and then just kind of let there be a little bit of space there. But it's still a good chorus. It goes a bit long, and the outro specifically, I think, it might be good, but I can't understand it in the mix, like the effects. And so it doesn't come across quite as clever as it probably is. So I would adjust the mix on that. Overall, I think the mix is pretty decent, though, on this. And I really like the track. I think it's actually a pretty good track. Even though I have edits for the chorus, I still like the chorus overall. Audience has it as a 7 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8. Because I think an 8 is where it lives. Primal Winds, Test Your Might. Shubs. Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
There are times where the intro overpowers the vocals a bit, like...
That's true, it's a very big intro.
Yeah, and so we gotta turn up the vocals a lot more.
Yeah, noticeably.
Yeah, but with that being said, the flow is dope. I vibe.
The staccato delivery on this flow is a gift.
This is how you do it.
This is how you do it. Love the tone of the MC on the verse.
Yeah.
My only real notes for this, because I really do love the beat, the Mortal Kombat feel just works. Like, I think the MC does a good job at matching this beat, both rhythmically and tonally.
Yep.
The only thing is on the chorus is good, but I think you should have changed up your tone, either come up in energy on it a bit, or maybe done some hypes that were higher energy, like up a bit, maybe a bit louder. You do something where the dub is something like getting Gil, na na na, na na na, and then you could have kept your tone the same, and that would have been enough as long as it was loud enough on the chorus.
Yeah.
I think that would have been enough to send this up, but this is a good song.
Yeah.
This is an 8 out of 10. The audience agrees that it's an 8 out of 10. I think it's absolutely in that space.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, so good work.